I'm live. Hi, everybody. Today we have the color cubes. Dun, dun, dun. So I'm going to bring those out in a second. If you're watching the replay, I will timestamp this. You can go forward to the part you want to see. Hi, Zandra. Hi, Dar. Hey, Dede. Dede, that's a very, very sweet of you. And hubby will be happy to hear that you've gave us a little donation. I'll explain his whoa, I thought I turned that volume down. Woo. I'll explain his story in a minute. Hi, Tammy Twisted Zones. You're new. Welcome to the channel. Hi, Beth. Good to see you guys. I'll just do a quick recap of this last week, and then we'll get right into the cubes of colorness. So I got happy mail from Darcy Sanders. I won one of her postcards, and she sent me an extra postcard, I think, for me to doodle on, and this cute little leaf. Speaking of leaves, Dede did some fun leaves this morning and patterns, and also Colleen and Kathy streamed yesterday. They did some fun stuff. Hi, Monkey Colleen. Hi. Hi, Becky. So the other thing I did this week was Dede sent me this coloring page from Monstrous Mutts. And I picked this one because it looked the most like Lucy. So I did that, and I photocopied it onto cardstock. And then I colored it using a technique using Crayola crayons that I learned from Christine, or as she's known as Cat and Paste. So that's done with the Crayola crayons. And it's obviously not as intricate as, how Cat and Paste does hers, but I was really happy with it, and it was really fast, actually, and lots of fun. Thanks, Dede. Hi, Flora. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Colleen. Oh, and just an update, we still have our postal strike, so I have not mailed out the postcards from last week. But I'll show the reel I did on Instagram. I'll show the finished cards. And then this is the other thing I did this past week. I did a color combo for makers of mixed media art and artists. And the colors were poppy red, mint green, and chocolate. So I used some colors from the Kuretake Gansai Tambi paints. And I made this sort of abstract landscape. Is my sound okay? How's the brightness on the screen? Because I'm watching on my iPad, it looks a little bit dull. Yeah, so today we're going to use our fun, handy dandy color cubes to pick out some color combos, hey? Hi, Gray. Hi, Jennifer. Sound and video, okay, good. And then this was Colleen Kathy's yesterday on Kathy Berg and CK Art Colleen. The prompts were make a rainbow, acrylic paint, use a tea bag, turn something on your desk into a pattern, and use as a repeating pattern. So this is my card. I do mine on these 5x7 playing cards. So I glued a piece of paper, and then I used a plastic canvas to just print on the square patterns. And then when I tore up my tea bag, the torn edge, this one looked like this is where the tea bag string attaches. So I just I cut and flipped up the little ears, and it kind of tore like the shape of a fox. So I turned it into a fox, and then I turned the rest of the tea bag into a little house. And I just painted with acrylic paints to make that sort of simple folk art kind of style. So that was fun. Is Diane here? I didn't see Diane. Hi, Pamela. Oh, hi, Diane. There you are. I was going to show my file folders, but I think I don't have time today because I want to get into those color cubes. So I'm actually going to show this probably next week. I know we were talking about the file folder journals at Colleen and Kathy's. So here's the color cubes. I opened the box, but I did not get the seal off. So I don't know if you guys saw my little thumbnail with my photo on it, and I actually got my husband to take that picture. And then I was showing, I didn't show him the cards because I hadn't opened it yet, but I was showing him like someone's video about the cards, and he's like, well, first he said, how much were those? I said, oh, they weren't cheap. And then he laughed. So thank you, Dede, for your kind super chat. I really appreciate it. And then the next thing he said was, when I showed him the video thing, was that he said, wait, those aren't paints? You paid that much for pieces of paper with colors on them? I hope she sends like some extra stuff in there. This is before bed. I was just cracking up. I said, yeah, it's for inspiration. He's like, what? He just couldn't conceive it, that it was just color palettes. He was like, he was making fun of me. We'll just put it at that. So I'm going to open these up, and then we're going to, did I tell him they're going to be stored in the bathroom? No, I should store them on his pillow. That's what I should do. I did tell him, Janet, that you're going to store yours on your toilet. I told him that. And he said, sounds about right. I could put them on the back of our toilet tonight. That would be funny when he gets home. All right, so let's open these up. And I assume that most of you here have heard of these. If not, I put the link to Sarah Renee Clark's YouTube channel below. And I also put the online store. So friend, I wasn't going to get these because of the price to ship to Canada and the Canadian exchange and all that, because these are from Australia. But a friend of mine, Linda Gibbs, who's been here before, she does Stamping Up. And she said, I was thinking about those color cubes. Do you want to like go in it with me? And I said, okay. I said, maybe I'll just get one and you can get the other one, and then we can like share them. She said, well, I kind of want them both. So I said, okay, we'll get them both. So Star Traveler, you have not heard of these. So this is volume 1 and this is volume 2. Now we each bought the 2 volumes. Now I did not get, you can also get the digital guide, which can help you, like, let's say you want like a theme, it's separated in different ways. You can search for cards. But I did not do that. I just got these. So what they are is they have, and Dede's shown them. Dede has these, and these ones fell behind. I remember you had some problem with that, Dede. I don't remember. Why is that going far? Seems to be dropping low. Okay, so they're full of color palette ideas. I think I need to turn this around. Okay, so here's the instructions. There's instructions. Using a color palette, how to match colors. The colors are on the back of each card are printed to the edge, so you can place them right against your media to match the colors, blah, blah, blah. Hex codes. If you're on a tablet, you can use the hex codes. Tints and shades, so they include the color and then the tint, which is a lighter version, and then the shade, which is a darker version. So it's a 20% tint and 20% shade. So you can use variations. Hi, Debbie Epps. And the color names are an approximate description as categorized in the color catalog, which I don't have. I don't have the color catalog. Blah, blah, blah. Use the hashtag ColorCube to share what you've created with the color palettes. Okay, so there's the instructions. So here's card 1. So I thought, so there's the number, and then here's the reference picture that I believe Lindsay Frugal Crafter, she explained that I think these pictures are from copyright-free sources. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Jane. So she uses that to pull out some colors for the color palette. And then on the back, you have the colors to the edge. You have the name, the hex code. You have the tint, the color, and the shade. So I thought this would be fun because I'm trying to learn how to paint with gouache. So I thought this would be also have good source material. So I'm noticing they're falling, excuse me, they're falling down. Dede, did you find that they're falling down? Is there a reason that they're, did you do something to fix that? Yeah, it does look like design seed. So I'm going to pull out a pack here. So this is set 1. And I'm going to try to keep them in color order. I think when Lindsay unpacked them, she noticed that they were sort of falling. I don't know if it's, I'm not sure why. So here's just some cards. Like I said, I want to try to keep them in order, but I'll just kind of flip through. And I think they're organized a bit by theme, but I don't know if you need the color catalog to find the themes. I know there's like food, Christmas, beach, flowers. That one's very primary, isn't it? So that's the idea. I'm going to flip through. Yeah, so there's number 9. They're numbered. Yeah, so they're numbered. So I'm going to put them back here in order. And then we'll pull up, I'll open the, I'll show some of the cards from number 2. So I don't know, thanks, Dar. I don't know if each box has like certain themes. See, look at that. It just falls. I don't know why it's falling down. Okay, anyhow. So that's volume 1. And this is volume 2. So volume 1 goes from 1 to 250. And volume 2 goes from 2. Oh, this one has instructions also, because you can buy them individually. You can buy just number 1 or just number 2, or you can buy the set, or you can buy the set with the color guide. Yeah. So this one goes from 251. That's very nice fall pattern. But wouldn't it be fun to like do a acrylic painting or a gouache painting or a watercolor? And that's number 500. These are very similar. And I noticed some are 5 and some are 6. I don't know if there's any that are more than that. Okay, so what I thought we would do is, yeah, you can use them. Dede uses hers for her color book pages. Yeah, I mean, there's so many uses for them, right? Hi, Leona. $2.50 in each box. Yes. So we're going to do some gel printing with them. So I'm going to put them over here. Actually, I don't want them to be in the, I'm going to put them on the side. So you guys in chat, put down a number from 1 to 500. I'll take the first 3 numbers, we'll pull them out, and then maybe we'll vote on which one to do, or maybe we'll do them all today. I don't know. Hi, Paula. Paula follows Denise Love, and she uses these a lot as well. Yeah, I know a lot of people use them. They're very popular. And this has a, I don't know what this, oh, the clear stickers are number 1, if you want to put the 1 and the 2 on the box on the outside. So we've got 333. Oh, 3. Okay, so what they showed up with me is 336. Oh gosh, that doesn't work. 333 and number 3. So let's pull those out. 36, 333, and number 3. Okay, so I'm going to pull out number 3 first because it is right here. So here's number 3. So very neutral. And hi, Pamela B. And 336. And I'll pull out Dede's number 2 because she gave me a little donation. Nice little super chat from Dede. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh gosh, they're tight in there, hey? Okay, 333. Ugh. because I don't think we'll have time to do, you know, a whole bunch of different ones today. We'll do as many as we can. So there's 333 and 336 shouldn't be far. Oh gosh, they're tight. So if you missed the story of my hubby, we're very muted today. And then Dede had 451. So we'll pull Dede's number that, because Dede's special. You're all special, but Dede's extra special. What did you say? 451. There we go. Wow, so lots of oranges and browns today. Interesting. So they're all fairly similar. So we're going to do some, they're type of, just the edge falls down. Like the front edge, see how these letters, the first few, there must be like a little slip under, there's like a foam core, like a foam around it, but the first few at the front or the back fall down. I don't know why. It's not really a problem, but okay, so I always tend to go to like bright colors, so I'm tempted to do this one. Let's do, hi, Apple. I'll let you guys decide. Whoops, I'm not even on camera there. My camera, I think I gotta go up here a little bit. So do you guys want to do number 3, 333, 336, or 451? Put it in chat and I will, the bird, or yeah, we could do it that way. Book, bike, typewriter, or bird. So we got one for bird, one for typewriter. Oh, bird's over here. One for bike, 333. 333 is getting a lot. Bike. Okay, so we'll start with this one, and then maybe we'll do some others after. So I kind of warmed up my plate here. So I did a bit of an image transfer as a warm up, just to pull off some stuff that was on the plate. Okay, so hi Laverne. Let's find these colors first. So burgundy, to me that's more of a brown than a burgundy, but let's see if we can find. I'm gonna pull out I'm gonna pull out these paints just because they have maybe more of a color range. And then I might have to go to my craft paints. So that's kind of like, let's see, it's kind of like this color here, this red violet color. See, I think that's kind of a match. Hi, Leona Jean. And then we've got crimson, but it's almost like a red ochre color. See that? I'm gonna bring you guys in a little bit. So we got those two, and then we have rose tan, which is kind of like a gray rose. Let's see what I have over here. I might have to mix that one. Do I have a gray rose? I think we'll have to mix that. So we use rose pink with maybe a smidge of Payne's gray to make that one. I think that should make kind of that rose tan. And then we have platinum, which is like, let's use a silver. The other thing I was going to say is for gel plating, I think I would add that I can have 3 colors of white, black, and metallic, because that's what Carrie and Paula do with their color combos. Okay, do I have a silver? So we'll use this one, this platinum. This is a metal pewter, so it's close to platinum. And clay, which is kind of like a taupey brown, I would say. Clay, clay, clay. Or I can use this for pewter. Use one of those two. And then clay. I don't have a lot of neutral color paints. I'm a real color girl, not cover girl. Okay, I'm trying to find that tan color. You might have to mix it, but this is kind of close. Territorial beige. That's pretty close. Boo, everybody's spooky quiet. That's because they're like, what is she gonna do? What is she gonna do? Okay, so I had a couple thoughts. I thought we could do like an image transfer and use these colors. Now this is looking like it's not the right color. Did my color change? Now I feel like this is too, so it matches here, but it does not match there. I think we need something more brown. No, it's like a red brown. It's like a reddy brown, reddy brown. And of course, I don't have a red brown. Do I have a red brown? Oh, look at this one. This is those Jane Davenport paints. It's kind of like a red brown. So let's use that. So, hi, messy brainy mess. Hi, brainy mess. Everyone's holding their breath. Yeah, me too. I'm okay. I'm gonna put these cards away so that I don't get them dirty. But this is our inspiration. So those two we have to mix. See, on here it looks different than here, but I'm going to go with the colors I picked. And then we have the, did I get the tan? Oh yeah, the tan. Okay. Do you guys want to do like an image transfer? Dede worries about the peeps not having all the colors. Yeah, but I mean, it's a good way to learn how to mix colors, right? And, oh, the other thing is I did pull out my pan pastels. So I thought we could use that too. So maybe it was a combination of pan pastel. What if we use, let's try an image transfer and then we'll colorize it. Oh, that's what Dede said above. It's good practice for color mixing. Okay, so I'm going to use, for the transfer, I'm going to use this burgundy color. This is the darkest color here. We'll use this. And let's see what we get. Hi, Dad. Okay, so let's do, so I've already warmed up this plate. And like I said, when Paula and Carrie the Crafter do their color combo picks, they usually let us pick a black, white, and metallic if we want to. So we'll see. So you want your, of course there's a hair there. Ugh. You want your paint thin, but not too thin. And then I had to get a hair in there. Now it's going to be too thin. And there's another hair. Okay. All right. We're going to put some DNA in this art. Hi, Zen Jen. And I don't know, this was just in a folder I had with a bunch of images, so I don't know if this one works. And it does work. So we've got our first color. And I'm going to just use, I think this plate has a bit of indent there. Okay, so we have that. And that would be cool in a collage just like that. Let me move some of my stuff out of the way so I don't get it dirty. Okay, so we can use some pan pastels. We'll let that dry. I'm feeling maybe for the pickup we use a silver for the platinum. Just thinking maybe this one's better. I think that might be better for the pickup. So there's that one. All right, and then we have, doesn't look as dark as it did here, but that's okay. And then we'll use, that's looking more red now. I think my lighting changed. So let's put that away. Let's see. We'll use that one. Okay. So let's, what if we get a stencil and stencil a pattern down below here? Or stamp? Let's see. So I don't quite have a plan yet. But what if we stencil that? Behind here with this red. And I'm going to try to not go over his little legs. I'm going to use my little, whoops. And this is one of my designs, by the way. I've got a few that are sort of like a cube. And I want to kind of get beside his leg, but not over it. Okay, so we got the red, the crimson. Okay, and we'll just kind of pop it off up here too, just to repeat some of it. Okay, nice floor, thanks. All right, so we still have this rose color, this gray rose, and this tan. What if we use a gray rose with the pan pastels? Do I have a gray rose with the pan pastels? Not really. I don't feel like mixing one. Okay, speaking of mixing, let's mix some gray rose. What we could do is we could fill in the floor with the gray rose, right? That's a bit thick there. Go. Deciding what to do gives it a chance to dry. That's right. So here, so we're going to use more rose than gray. We just want to dull it down a little bit. So I'm just using a bit of Payne's gray, which is like a bluey gray. And I've got a big shine in the middle of my my gel plate. So I'm going to turn that light off. See if that's a bit better. Yeah, that's better. And what I should do is I should put a piece of paper under here so you guys can see it better. Good afternoon, Tammy. Okay, so let's mix this. Just need it. It's kind of like a dusty rose. Remember the dusty rose in the 80s? I had a mini dress that was like dusty rose and gray. Let's see. Nope, not that. I just want a piece of paper. To see if that's the right color. I think that's pretty good. And let's get this hair off of here. I don't know why I'm shedding so much. There we go. Usually I have a ponytail, maybe that's why. So that's still drying. I think we want to make them silver, and we still have the tan colored. I think we should do some tan in the sky, the pink here, and then pick it up with the silver. Diane says she made a quilted jacket back in the 70s with dusty rose and a blue. Tammy says her wedding colors were teal and dusty rose. And I think my grade 12 graduation dress was dusty rose. And it, my mom sewed it based off of her wedding dress. So it's not quite dry. Let me just do that. Okay, let's do the dusty rose here. Hopefully I have enough on there to spread it. Okay, it's a little light on the bottom. That's okay. We're going to leave it. Once it starts drying, you have to kind of leave it. All right, and then this tan color, territorial beige, or do I have, I'm just going to check if I have the clay color. Do I have, I don't really have a pan pastel in that color. So we're going to have to use this one. Maybe we will stamp. Let's stamp with some foam stamps to make some sort of background there. So this is already stretching me in my color picking because I don't think I would have ever picked this color combo in a million years. So the burgundy is looking a little bit more like a pink, but that's just how it turned out. So we're just going to run with it. And then that's the territorial beige. It looks like this clay color. So we're going to say yes. It gets you out of your comfort zone. Exactly. Exactly. What if we, let's see. Let's use these Sumi marks. These are from PM Artist Studio. I don't remember the name of them though. Okay, so we're gonna put some neutral marks around here. That sounds like a question. Around here. And then because it's a foam stamp, you can kind of like, you don't have to push it all the way down, right? You can just kind of do that. So that's pretty good. So always wipe your foam stamps. With a baby wipe, or put them in the sink to wash them. I'm going to just wrap that one. It is great to push yourself, for sure. Stretching. I need to stretch my body. I need to stretch my legs. Speaking of stretching, hi Barbara. Speaking of stretching, I have my tap dancing class tonight, and I have not practiced a routine since last week, so I'm gonna have to, after I'm done this, I'm taking my mom for a flu shot, and then I will need to practice a bit before my class tonight. Janet says she's still here thinking there's nothing wrong with her comfort zone. That's funny. Okay, so now we've got this metallic we're going to use to pull this. I need to get some paper ready. Is it dry? That's not quite dry. I'm just going to pick up a little bit because I am not patient today. All right. When did I start tap dancing? I tap danced my whole childhood up to like my early 20s. And then I took a big break, and then I went back in my 40s for a while. And then I had 2 rounds of frozen shoulder. So I had not done it in a long time. And then I was talking to some of my old dancing friends, and I decided to join them. So I just started back this October. I feel like I should pick that up with black. Change my mind, picking up with black. I think the silver will look cooler. Leona says her hips would go out. Tammy did ballet and tap. Yeah, I did tap and jazz and a little bit of ballet. Dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17. Paula says she often does river dancing in her galley kitchen. Does that count? Yes. It's movement. It counts. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. And then do we want to do one of these cards, or do we want to pick a new color, a new number? You guys decide for me. Do you want me to do one of these, or do you guys want to pick out a new number to try? Star says her mom used to tap dance when she was young. You didn't inherit that talent. Oh, it's fun. I really like it. What do you guys think? The bird? Anybody else want me to do the bird colors? The bird one is bright. Okay, so we'll do the bird one next. Let's see if this is ready. Not quite ready. So let's pick out our colors. So the bird one, we've got blood orange, orange, marigold, dark green, and charcoal. Now one of the things I got ready was this little sketch here So we could try that. I think we could make these colors work in this. So I took a picture of a plant on my kitchen table, converted it to black and white. I put tracing paper over it, and then I traced it with some charcoal or graphite pencils, I think. So we're going to transfer that to the other plate. And then we'll pick out some colors. So keep that handy. Jean says, hi Jean Gems, says the bird is the word. Well, the bird is the word. Bird is the word. Don't you know? Haven't you heard? Everybody knows that the bird is the word. Okay, so I'm going to just push this down onto here. I did one of this, I did my cat using this technique on a stream back in February, I think it was, with Miriam, Art Curious Miriam. So this is going to transfer the pigment. This is something that, if you guys have heard of Yeats Makes, he does this quite often, but his, his drawings are like totally amazing. All right, so then we have the transfer of our drawing, our sketch. On my very yellow plate. All right, so charcoal, which dark green. Let's see what our pastels have. Okay, dark green. It's kind of like it's almost like a phthalo green. Look, if I mixed these two greens together. Marigold does look like this orange. This orange does look like that. The blood orange looks more like that other color I had out. Da, 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 da. Where did I put it? And then the charcoal, we can use paint for the charcoal. And then we'll pick it up with white, I think. So I need to find, let's see, is this blood orange? This is kind of blood orange here. This, I think that's sienna. Red iron oxide. So that's red iron oxide. That almost looks more like the marigold, this one, which is yellow ochre. So we'll use those two. And then for the orange, we'll use this one. Maybe we'll do the pot in orange. And then dark green, we'll do the leaves. We'll figure out, we'll add some other colors. Or maybe we'll pick it up with orange. I kind of like it when we have orange peeking through. I'm not sure. Think about that. We'll think about that. Or we do the pot charcoal and we'll make like an orange tablecloth. Okay. So we got some ideas. We got some options. Yes, I'm going to use the pastels, the pan pastels. Oh, I kind of lifted that up. I don't know if I got the whole thing down. All right, here is our first one. I don't think I chose quite the right color for the let's see. So that is this one. So we got the platinum is the pickup color. We've got the dusty rose, the crimson. This is supposed to be the burgundy. Maybe it's more like, yeah, it's not quite like the burgundy. Okay. Tammy says she asked Siri to pick a number. Yeah, I might do that like if I was by myself, but with you guys here, I kind of want to include you guys. Okay, so let's do some stuff. Okay, so we're gonna do, my hair is falling out. I should have put a ponytail. We're gonna do, maybe we do the blood orange and orange for the pot. Okay, so I'm gonna have to have that beside me here. So when you do pan pastels on the gel plate, whatever you put down first is what is going to show, because when you pick it up, it's whatever's down first is going to be at the top. And we did say we could use metallics, black and white, so maybe I'll pick it up with gold. Just looking here. Okay, so let's get a little thingamajigger. Yeah, by yourself. Exactly, Tammy. Just trying to clean that off. Okay, so let's do the orange. We're gonna have the light coming this way, I think. So I'll do some orange here. Now my pot that I own is actually white. And we'll do orange top here. It's not gonna be perfect. Okay, and then let's add that red iron oxide coming from the other direction. So that's where I use this one. Okay. And charcoal. Let's see, that charcoal, it's the same as this here, which looks like Payne's Gray. So I'm going to use that one. And I'm thinking I'm just going to kind of like put this in the dirt area. And there's a little bit of the orange and red iron oxide on my thing still. And I think we'll use yellow ochre for the branch. But I'm going to add a bit of this charcoal as like shading, this Payne's Gray. We're going to add just a little bit of shading. With that, it looks like it still has a few of those colors. Light's coming this way. So we're going to kind of shade that a little bit. This is one of those, I think it's a ginkgo plant. A bit like a bonsai, a little weak. Yeah, it looks like a bonsai, but I think it's a ginkgo. I think it's a ginkgo plant. Okay, now I think I feel like adding a bit of this orange into the leaves, kind of like sporadically, like kind of like highlights. And then we'll add the green. And I didn't do like a total, I mean, I traced it, but it's not like, I almost tried to do more like a contour drawing. So again, these are probably not colors I would have chosen, but you know what? It's kind of, it's good. It's good to stretch. Okay, so that's pretty good. So you think it's ginkgo? Yeah, I think it's a ginkgo. Like some of the leaves are kind of roundish. Did I miss anybody? Yeah, whenever I look at this plant, I think there's a face with arms, and then there's one side that looks like a butt. It's kind of funny. Okay, so let's do our yellow ochre, which is this one here. And we're going to do that. Now the colors are a little bit, look a bit off because the plate's very yellow. And we might add a bit of the red iron oxide to our stems here, maybe. I hope I'm not being too quiet. And is my sound still okay? Let me know. Let me know. And then we got to figure out what we're going to do with this background. So a little bit of that red iron oxide we're going to do, just kind of smooshy. And this won't show as much because we put the yellow ochre down first. But I'm hoping it'll give us like a little bit of shading. And maybe here, loud and clear, awesome. All right, let's try to do our dark green. So it's kind of like a phthalo green. Let's see if we can mix one. So I'm just going to turn this around. So I'm going to use this. What's that one? I'm going to use permanent green and what's that? Green shade, chromium oxide green shade. I'm going to use these two, and then maybe we'll add a little bit of Payne's gray to it. I need a spot here. Let's do it here. Hi, Heather. That's okay. Let's see what that looks like. Where was my tester piece of paper? Where it went? Let's see. Is that in the ballpark? No, I think we need some Payne's gray in there. Let's see, is that better? Hi, Deb Brown. Yeah, I think that's more, this one here has more of that gray color. See this one, this first one's too green. This one is like that greeny gray. So we're gonna maybe do, I think almost we should do the charcoal first in some of the darker areas, and then we'll add that greeny charcoal. And this isn't going to be, you know, perfect. It's going to be essence, perhaps essence of ginkgo. And then we still have to figure out what we're going to do for the pickup. I feel like we need a table and we need a sky. Okay, so let's do this green now. And we're going to do it kind of loosey-goosey. We're going to even go over that orange. Hope this isn't boring for you guys. Oh, right, I was going to show you, maybe when this one's drying, I'll show you guys how the snark cards ended up. They're actually waiting to be mailed because we still have our postal strike, but I did do an Instagram reel, so I'll show you guys that reel when this one's drying. And thank you, Dede, for enabling the color cube. I think you were probably the first one I heard that got it. I can't remember exactly. And then Dede was very generously sent me a super chat this earlier in the stream. Thanks again, Dede. That's very, very sweet. Okay, we're almost there. If it's going out of the lines, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Need a bit more, a bit of the greens and a bit of that Payne's gray. Okay. I'm feeling like gold for the pickup. Maybe we put black down here and we pick up the whole thing with gold. Hi, Shelley. Yes, postal strike in Canada. In Canada. I'm just talking about Canada. And that's where I live, so I could not mail out the winner's postcards yesterday. So let's use black because I have the caveat that I can use black, white, and metallic. So those are glittery blacks. I don't want a glittery black. Do I have my non-glittery black? I don't. No, I do. This is black. So I'm going to put, do I do black? Okay, I'm going to do a lot of black because I find that the black kind of travels. So we're going to do black, and let's add that dark green and a bit of that orange. So add a bit of the orange here and a bit of the iron oxide kind of here. And then we'll use that green color to fill it in. Might make some mud, but that's okay. Though it might be cool to have sort of like an Asian type of pattern. A bit of the black here. Yeah, they always go on strike just before Christmas. Yes, of course. That's what they do. So I'm just going to try to blend that all. Should go further though, because this was pretty kind of looking down. I feel like that perspective's not quite right. I think we need to add, because my original sketch, the table actually ended way up here. So I'll bring that up a bit. Oh, black, right? That was the charcoal. Let's add the black. Bloop. Okay, and then the gold can peek through. Hi, Margie. Do you guys think I should add a stencil background? But it has to be, we could do black or the charcoal. I'm going to pick it up with the metallic gold. What do you guys think? Just plain background, or should we stencil something on the background? I'll let you guys answer. Have a drink of my pop. Well, it's not pop, it's bubbly. We could stamp the background. Let's see. Do I have? Got some stamps we could do. Stencil, or should we use one of these stamps? I've got the crackle. I think this is a Carrie the Crafter one, which is like circles, and then that's like they're all PM Artist Studio stamps. We could just do this one here like that. In black. Yeah, the Asian-esque one. And then yeah, let's do that. We'll just keep it simple. So we'll use let's use this Payne's gray, because it's kind of like that charcoal color to do the stamp, and then we'll have to let that dry, and then once I can start showing you guys the I was going to say the reel that I did from the post for the postcards. Right there. Okay, maybe we do a little bit there, a little bit there. Cool. Okay, wipe these off. Let's move our pan pastels. Hi, Brenda. Well, it's a perfect time for them to strike, because they have the upper hand, because people want things resolved for Christmas. I read in the news today, which I don't usually read the news, that there is 85,000 passports that the Canadian government is just holding. They don't want to mail them until the strike's over. Okay, let's use our gold. I've got two favorite golds. I have gold iridescent, and I have this rich gold. I tend to like this rich gold. So let's use that one. And we'll use white paper. I know. Thanks, Dar. So I have to let that dry a little bit. Right. So let's, I'm going to show you guys the reel. I'll just do that. I'll show you the reel I did on Instagram, but I will not put the music on because, of course, the music you can put on Instagram is allowed, but not on YouTube. Okay, so here's the reel. That's my Instagram. And here's the reel. So that's the postcards. So this is all finished up. So we had started them last time. They're mostly done. I just added the gluing the things down, and then I outlined most of the words with Inktense pencil and shading around the figures with Inktense as well. Although Janet hates Inktense. So those are in their envelopes, ready to go to their new owners. We're just waiting to have the end of the strike. So that, and that was all for Janet's birthday, the Snark Queen herself. Okay, I'm going to go back to my YouTube channel. Brenda says Ugg People is her favorite. Yeah, that's a fun one. They're all fun. I had fun doing that. Okay, is this dry? Okay, that feels dry. All right, let's pick her up. I'm gonna have to get more of this gold. I like this gold, it's my favorite. Okay, anytime now, gold. Ooh. All right. That was very sloppy. Okay, so we'll just even that out. I want a nicer paper. My 32-pound hammer mill. Sorry, there's all sorts of shadows because of this light. I'll try that again. I was just making a big glare. Still making a big glare. It's a bit better. Well, Star Traveler, it takes a while to get a passport. My sons, their child passport expired quite a while ago, so I have their forms just about ready to go, but now I want to wait until the postal strike before we actually bring it to the passport office. All right, so that's going to be this one. For those coming in, the first one we did was this one here, card 333, with maybe limited success. It's okay. I wish this was like a darker color, but. And then, so that's card number 333. This is card 451. So do we have time? I think we've got time to do another one. I think I'm going to put these ones back because they're both very similar. So I'm going to pick someone in chat to give me a number. How about Star? How about you pick out a number from 1 to 500, and that'll be our next card. And I'm going to hope that there's some bright colors. Oh, we got lots of. I did ask Star. I think you guys started putting in numbers before I said Star. We're going to see what number Star picks. And if I don't like it, I'll pick one of the other numbers as backup. Five. Oh, no. Okay. between 1 and 500. Try again, and then if not, we'll use one of those other backup numbers. Oh, that wasn't a good idea. The cards only go up to 500. Oh my goodness, where did I get all this color from? We'll give Star a moment. She was busy thinking about her passport. 255. Okay, so that's going to be at the front of color cube 2. So this is color cube 1, and this is color cube 2. And if you came in late at the beginning, I mentioned my husband had some thoughts on this whole color cube business. 255. Let's hope for some bright colors. Ooh, I think we got some bright colors. There's 255. I'm gonna keep that together. So that's fun. Let's see. Let's do something. Let's do something. That's always a plan, right? See, I thought all these reference pictures would be fun for gouache painting too. Yes, even every city has passport offices, but then they always mail you your final passport. Although I think you can choose to go pick it up. You might be able to choose to pick it up at the passport office. All right, so we've got 6 colors. We have crimson, orange, mimosa, ghost white, which is like a light blue, amethyst, and lilac. And I'm feeling like we should do a transfer and then use these colors to colorize it. So let's do an image transfer using black, because I'm allowing myself to use black, white, and metallic. I just got to clean this off. I didn't push my paper down all the way. Mimosa. I could go for mimosa right now. Give that a little bit of a wipey poo. Okay, and then let's pick our image for our transfer. So I think we'll do probably an ombre pickup, or we could use this purple for our transfer color, because that looks like dioxazine purple to me, and that's a great color for a pickup. So we'll use that dioxazine purple for our image transfer. Now let's find an image. Maybe this would be cool. I don't know what magazine this is from, so I don't know if it's going to work. But that would be cool. We could fill in different colors on those, on a lot of those areas. Cheers. Cheese, as Janet would say. Okay, let's do this. So we're going to use purple. Hopefully I am in screen. So you have a little divot in this plate right there. There's a little divot. So like I said, I'm not sure if this magazine works. I'm not not all magazines do work, so. Rub, rub, rub. It's worked. It's a little bit sploochy there, but that's okay. So there's our image transfer. It's a little bit iffy, but that's okay. So we'll let that dry. Let's, so we're going to do that. I think our pan pastels would be ideal for some of this. And then maybe we pick it up with this, that pastel or the ice blue. I think this ice blue would be a good pickup color. I think that's what I'm thinking. Let's put this aside to dry. What we can do is while that's drying, we can just remove a little bit of paint using our crackle stamp, just for interest. I think it is it Calvin Klein? I can grab the picture and look. Where did I put it? It is, oh, it doesn't say. It's for, I think it's an ad for a mall. It says Yorkdale, the center of style. But it does look like Calvin Klein, doesn't it? Okay, let's put this aside. Let's pull our ginkgo, our parrot ginkgo. And when you use pan pastels, you will have a some pastel left on the plate, like a shadow. So that's our print. I kind of like it. Sorry for all the shadowing here. My camera is really causing a big shadow today. So I could go in with my Intense pencils and kind of bump up, you know, some of the spacing in there. So I could use the charcoal gray or the black, or even like a dark green. I don't really have a good dark green, but for example, I could go in, I could add, so I'm just going to show, I might do this later, I might not, so I'm just going to show you that. So I just put in some of this Inktense charcoal gray, and then with the water brush, you could just add a little bit of intensity there. Oh, and I'll just show you that the pan pastel, it's gold, pan pastel is fixed pretty much with the paint. So I could darken up some areas, give it a bit more dimension. Let's do like right here, just to show you, because I feel like so we could do that. Fill in some of those spaces. So it's still drying, but I'll show you those areas once it's dry. I don't think I did this part here though, did I? Did I do this part? So Inktense, ideally once it dries, it's permanent. So I'll show you that once it's dry. The butt, yeah. My this plant, whichever way you put it, you kind of see a butt. So that's our butt ginkgo plant. That's on our kitchen table. There it is. There's your butt, Dede. Right there. There's our butt. So I'll show you that once it's dry, and I could do another pull. Maybe is this the purple's dry? So let's do another pull, and then while that's drying, we can we can. Oh, Janet. When that other one's drying, we can do a ghost print. I'm running out of room here. Okay, so let's grab some colors. Okay, so that was this one we just did. And let's grab, so we decided we're gonna do our pickup with this blue, the ice blue. What if we use Posca paint pens to maybe doodle in some of the areas? Do I have those colors though? That's the question. Let's see, crimson. Let's see, let's test these colors. Crimson, is that close? Pretty good. Let's see the orange. And yellow. The orange and yellow. That's pretty good, actually. So those three work. We've got the amethyst. We're going to pick up with the ghost white, which is like a pale blue. We just need this lilac color. I'm almost thinking we could pick up with this one here, which is a royal purple. It's kind of this lilac color. We could do an ombre of this ice blue to the lilac color. What do you guys think? Hi, Joanne. Okay, so we're going to use these to, yeah, we're just going to do, I'm just going to do, instead of doing like intricate doodles, we could do circles, or we could just do straight lines. Make it like rays coming out. So one thing I've been into watching lately is Project Runway on YouTube. They're releasing a bunch of their seasons, and one episode at a time. So I've been every day. I look forward to my episode of Project Runway, and they started backwards. They started with their the most recent season, and then they're going backwards, but they're starting like the season, they're starting at episode 1 of that season and going through it. I'll do red, and then orange. So you could spend more time and make this more intricate, but because we want to get to a finished product. Now, what is going on here? I don't know. I want yellow behind her, I think. I think I'll put red here. Diane says she likes that series. She also watched RuPaul's Sewing Challenge. I watch RuPaul's Drag Race, but I don't have a streaming service that has it all, so I usually just watch like the summaries on YouTube. But I didn't know he had a sewing challenge one. Hi, Messy Palette Diane. So this one we're gonna do, and of course we have to let this dry before we do our pickup. So we're gonna do just kind of yellow behind her, kind of coming through to here. Whoops. Whoops. I'm trying to make it look straight, but I'm not doing too good there. So we filled in with acrylic paint, we filled in with pan pastels. There's lots of options. And then I think this one should be orange. I'm going to turn it over just so I don't get my hand in the wet paint. So I don't know that I would necessarily combine purple with red and yellow and orange. Like I would often do purple with orange. So this is going to be interesting for sure. And then I feel like this should go, oh well. Another orange there. We need more yellow here. I think we need some red down here. Kind of do it like that. So I'm not watching chat quite at the moment. And we're going to do yellow here. And me now? Sorry, there was an emergency alert testing. They were just testing the emergency alert. Hi, Kimberly. You can use a lot of mediums on the plate, Joanne. A lot. It's kind of like nothing pointy, like don't use glitter, but it's kind of like let your imagination be your guide. That's a bit sloppy, but that's okay. And then we'll do orange here. Okay, so I think we got all the spots filled in. I don't want to do this spot here because we'll really lose her. So we let that dry. And then it's almost dry, just this part here is not quite dry. Do we want to do some black enhancements? Because like I said, I'm allowing myself black, white, and a metallic. Jean has a question. Can we leave the paint on the plate so long? So long. I'm not sure what you mean by so long. You can leave it quite a while. Yeah, I mean, you can leave it. It's like this is dry now, right? And then, but to pick it up, you need wet paint. You need something wet to pick it up. So I could put this away till tomorrow and then I could pick it up. But I don't like to leave my paint out to my plate out without something on it very long because I don't like it to dry. Let's use a little bit of black. Black, black, black. Where's my black? I've got this one. We could do dots. No, it's going to take too long. We could add dots later. Let's just leave it to dry and then we'll do a pickup. So we've got the crimson, the orange, the yellow, the amethyst, and we're going to pick it up with our lilac and our ghost white, aka light blue. Okay, let's do our ghost print of this one. So here you can see where this dried. It's like a little bit darker. I could definitely work on that some more for sure. So that's the card 451 with pan pastels and acrylic paint. And I'm going to grab, we're going to do another pickup. And then this is card 333 of the color cube. And that's burgundy, crimson, rose tan, platinum, and clay. Okay, so this one we had done the Asian stamp in the background. Let's do the crackle. Let's do some crackle stampage with the Payne's Gray, which is somewhere. Here it is. Just for some interest. And then what if we pick it up with wonder if it looked like if we picked it up with like an orange or a white. I need some more of this. Yeah, and then to condition your plate, you use baby oil. If you want to know like really technical information, I highly recommend watching PM Artist Studio. They're very good about breaking down the ins and outs of gel plating. I'm kind of more of like an experimenter. I feel like I am. I don't know if I don't always remember why stuff works or why I choose the colors I choose or, you know, whatnot. So that's my advice. I mean, I'm happy to try to answer any questions. Diane says she leaves a lot of her transfers overnight without any problems. Okay, so that has to dry before we can pick it up. We could even maybe do, for that one, where's our card? We could do, just maybe a white, just a plain white. I don't know. Okay, so this one we're going to do an ombre of this blue, ice blue, and this one here. And I'm thinking, do you want to do it this way or do you want to do like diagonal? Kind of have it like this. I think we'll do purple here and the blue there, kind of diagonally. Hello, One Man on Fire. I'm not sure what you put because it was retracted, but hopefully it was polite. Okay, so we're gonna do, and I got my paper ready. She meant too long. Oh, yeah, I don't think you can leave it on too long. Like you can usually get it off. Ooh, this one's got a little bit of the gunkies in it. So we'll have to kind of pull those out. And then we'll put this one. this way. Oh. Now that's the problem when we have two different consistencies, is that over here it's a bit gunky, but I don't think it's too bad. So we're going to just kind of go for it. Dar also posted PMR Studios YouTube channel and Jelly Art's website. Hi, Marta. I really appreciate everybody coming here. Oh, I found a way to go find all messages. Oh my goodness. Yay. I just have to click a different way than usual. Interesting. I'm sure I didn't miss anything, but, well, I'm sure I missed stuff just because I missed it. All right, so we're going to let that dry. So the main thing, if you're not familiar with gel plating, is that when you're starting, definitely acrylic paint is the way to go. It's the easiest thing to use. If you're using pan pastels, you have to pick it up with acrylic paint. I have done some videos where I've done more of like a watercolor technique. Okay, let's and this is pan pastel. This is a ghost print. I have done a video comparing pan pastel to makeup, like eyeshadow. You just want to make sure it's nothing glittery that's going to damage your plate. So this is a metallic white. Usually when you have pan pastels on your plate, you can get several ghost prints, but at some point it just becomes what's the word? It becomes so thin that it's not really worthwhile. Okay, so let's use white paper. Now I think after we pull these two, we'll be done. I do have to take my mom for her flu shot, so I can't stay late today. But I really appreciate everybody coming. We'll probably go another 15 minutes or so. Why is Diane fainting? Oh, it becomes faint. I thought you said you were fainting. Yes, the image becomes more and more faint. Yes. But then you can use it as a base and you can work over it. Okay, I need a little drink of my bubbly. And then you can tell when it's still wet when it feels cold. So this one here still feels a little bit cold. Thanks, Dar. Dar put the link to my video comparing pan pastels to makeup on the gel plate. I'll show you the makeup that I used. I just had it out here. So every time I clean up my room so that I can do my room tour, I have a stream and then I make a big mess. Oh, here it is. So this is the palette I used when I did the makeup video. So this was the makeup I used. It worked pretty well. It just wasn't quite as pigmented as the pan pastels. But if you don't want to invest in the pan pastels, which are a good investment because they do last a long time, if you don't want to invest in pan pastels, it's a good foray into trying that type of product on your gel plate. Okay, let's see if this is ready. Looks like it's coming off. There we go. Now I often pull my prints pretty quickly. It's pretty dry where I live. I know PM Artist Studio, they will often leave their prints over overnight on the plate, or even a week. So there we go. So we got the ice blue on this side and more of the lilac over there. This reminds me of, it's that English brand of makeup, because they often have like the British flag behind. So there's our color palette inspiration, card 255. So we use the Sharpie paint pens. These are acrylic paint pens. They're not regular Sharpie markers. So we've got crimson, we've got orange, we've got mimosa, we've got ghost white, we've got lilac, kind of ish, and then we've got amethyst. Pretty close. Could be an album cover. Yeah. I like the detail that the cracked, the PM Artist Studio stamp, the cracked crackle did. So that's this one. Now, do you guys think I should leave my thumbnail as is, where it has my picture on it? Or do you think I should do, should I show some of my pieces? Should I do something like that as my thumbnail? Or should I just leave it with my crazy looking face on the thumbnail? How am I liking this process of using the cards as inspiration? I am liking it very much. And I think I will like it not just for gel printing, but I think I will like it for, like Dede said, color book pages. See, this one's already ready to go. See, that's how fast things dry here. And you can see it's fainter, but it's still fun, and there's still more there. I'll show you how to wipe it off after too. So that's the second gen print. And this is, so that's the two done with this card as inspiration. So this one is with, let me move this out of the way. This one is with the gold. And this one is with the metallic white for the pickup. And I don't want to get my cards dirty, so let me just wipe my hands here. So you could definitely go in and add, you know, colored pencils to like render this out a bit more. So that's the colors from card 451. Hi, Jackie. And then this is the first one we did. This is card 333. Burgundy, crimson, rose tan, platinum, and clay. That kind of has like a London feel too, doesn't it? And then this was the 255, which was the crimson, orange, mimosa, ghost white, amethyst, and lilac. So there we have it. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Bye, Tammy. So, is there any questions, or do you want me to show anything again? These are the color cubes. This is the volume 1, because it starts from 1 and it goes to 250. And I don't know if there's videos out there that show like a flip through of all the cards. I know Lindsay Frugal Crafters use them quite a bit. Dede Willingham has used them. Anybody in chat that has them, please put your hand up. I'd love to know if you've used them. And then the volume 2 goes from 250 to 500. If you have the extra money available, I would recommend maybe buying the whole package that has the color guide, because then I can't remember. I'll try to find a link to a video that shows how you can use the color guide. Like, I didn't get the color guide, but you can search different ways. And then Janet's going to get the color cubes to decorate her bathroom. The Canadian price, a friend of mine and I, we split the shipping. So we each paid about 120 Canadian. I think it's $67 US for the two, just the two. But with shipping and everything Canadian, we each paid 120, but we shared shipping. And then when they came in, of course, they charged us the brokerage fee, which was $22. So yeah, that's why my husband was like, what? They're just cards? It's just paper? You paid that much for paper? And I said, you'll see, you'll see. So I'll have to send him a picture. Janet is still up in the air. Well, you know, and they do have just a digital version as well. Someone earlier mentioned you can get your own color combos from Design Seeds, which I think, yes, Heather, there's a digital version alone, but I knew I wouldn't use the digital version very much, because you can use Design Seeds, which is a digital platform. Dede's shown quite a bit. I think they're more on Instagram now. I just think it's fun, and it's very tactile to like have the card, because then if you have the digital version, matching it is a little bit more difficult. So I just pulled this one out at random. Right, black, burgundy, crimson, flame, burnt sienna. Let's go volume 1. And I don't know, I think there's different themes on the different volumes. You'd have to check maybe some other YouTube channels. 119, like, isn't that gorgeous? Like, look at that. And like I said, I also want to use them to maybe practice doing some gouache paintings. So I don't know, like, I could use that as my my inspiration for my picture and for the colors. So yeah, so there's lots of, I mean, I think there's a color combo for anybody in this. And also, like, I'm not big on muted palettes, but it was, you know, this really pushed me to try something different. Zen Jen says that gouache will really lend itself to the Asian journal. Yeah. Hi, Robin. Denise Love uses the color cubes for her mixed media. Yeah, mixed media, color books, gouache paintings, jelly printing. Brenda says she doesn't like digital art books. I may have to let Janet shove me over a cliff to purchase a hook this morning. It's funny. Well, yeah, I've been on the fence for a long time, Diane, just because when you do, like, they're from Australia, so the shipping to Canada was quite a lot. And then when you do the conversion rate, duties and all that. But my friend said, hey, I want to get these cubes. You want to split shipping with me? How could I say no, right? How could I say no to my friend? My friend wanted them. I wanted to help her. I'm a good friend. Well, thank you everybody for coming. Yes, I saved money. How could I not get them? And thanks to Dede this earlier in this stream, she sent me a lovely generous super chat to help me with the color cubes. I really appreciate it. And I do have the postcards that I gave out last week ready to mail. I'm just waiting for the mail strike to end. Yes, good enabler. Another friend enablement. Sharing is caring. That's right. Oh, thanks everybody. All right, I got to get ready to take my mom for her flu shot, and I got my tap dancing tonight. So, you know, I got to get ready. Jazz hands, jazz hands. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming.